An interface is like a contract agreed to by a class. With this contract, the class agrees to implement certain methods. An interface is sort of like an abstract class where every method defined in it is abstract. That is, none of the methods defined in an interface have bodies. The syntax for writing an interface is very much like that of writing a class. You write it almost the same way, except you specify it as an interface, not as a class. I'll be getting into the mechanics of writing these things later. An interface is abstract. It contains method definitions but not method bodies, just like an abstract class. An abstract class can also contain some non-abstract method body definitions, but an interface contains only abstract method definitions. They have no bodies. A class doesn't extend an interface as it does a superclass. Instead, a class implements the interface. And a class can implement as many interfaces as it wants. If a class doesn't actually provide bodies for every method in every interface it implements, it becomes an abstract class and must be declared as such, or it won't compile. An interface is simply a mechanism for defining a set of methods. Probably the best way to explain it is with a real example. I'll be showing you exactly how it works later on, but right now, let me just explain the concept. As a part of the standard Java API, there is an interface named mouse listener. It defines some methods that can be called with information about the position of the mouse. There is one method called when the mouse enters a window, another when it leaves, another when a mouse button is clicked, one when the mouse button is pressed, and another when a mouse button is released. Now, any class can implement this mouse listener interface and be signed up to receive mouse notification events. All the class has to do is provide bodies for the methods. What actually happens when one of these methods is called is the private business of the class that implements the interface. But because the interface is implemented, all the methods are there and can be called. Any object of any sort can become a mouse listener by simply having its class implement this interface. Once the mouse listener object is registered with a button or whatever, it will receive the mouse information from that button. In other words, it becomes a mouse listener because it has met all the requirements for playing the role of being a mouse listener. That's why the thing is called an interface. The internal software knows how to talk to a mouse listener, and anything can become a mouse listener by implementing the methods defined in the interface definition. I'll be showing you some examples of using interfaces this way later on. This is actually getting into polymorphism, which is the subject of the next lesson.